Have you ever heard a cricket sing near your window and felt like time paused? What if that tiny sound carried a message from something much greater? What if it wasn't random, but sacred? Asterisk, it starts with a sound, faint, rhythmic, almost hidden in the quiet. A cricket singing near your window, under your doorstep, somewhere close, but just out of reach. You pause, unsure why it pulls your attention. It's just an insect, right? But something deep inside you feels different. Like this sound is not just noise, but a sign. A message cloaked in music. And you'd be right, for centuries in Eastern traditions, especially in China and Japan, the cricket has been more than a creature. It has been a guardian, a spiritual protector, a living symbol of divine presence. In ancient Chinese homes, crickets were kept in delicate bamboo cages not to imprison, but to honor. Their song was believed to attract prosperity, protect against misfortune, and signal that the spiritual world was near. And in Japan, the song of a cricket is often seen as a sacred blessing, a sign that the home is in harmony, that your soul is aligned, that some force beyond is watching over you. So when a cricket sings near you, don't rush to silence it. Don't close the window. Don't call it a distraction. Instead, listen, because that sound may be the very thing your soul has been needing to hear. The cricket doesn't roar. It doesn't chase your attention. Its power is subtle. Its message is embedded in repetition. And it comes when you're quiet enough to notice. Spiritually, this is no accident. Crickets tend to appear during moments of stillness, late at night, in between thoughts, when your mind begins to soften and your heart begins to open. In those spaces where divine energy is most alive, they sing, not for entertainment. For remembrance. It is said that a cricket singing near you is a message of spiritual protection, that your home is guarded, that your energy is being watched over by unseen hands, that your prayers, even the ones you never voiced, have been heard, and the response, not thunder, not lightning, just this, a soft, sacred song in the dark. In many Eastern cultures, the cricket is seen as the voice of the ancestors, a presence that arrives not to speak in words but in vibrations. Its steady rhythm is a signal that you are not alone, that those who came before you, those who have passed on, are still near, still guiding, still pouring their energy into your life. Have you been asking for a sign? Have you been longing for peace but unsure where to find it? The cricket's song may be your answer, not flashy, not loud, but ancient, sacred, persistent. It doesn't try to convince, it invites you to pause, to feel, to listen. Beyond your ears, because what if the cricket isn't outside of you, but speaking to something inside of you? Your inner temple, your deep knowing, your forgotten peace. The vibration of a cricket song is not random. It is believed to align with calming frequencies, tuning the energy of a space. Some call it vibrational medicine. Others call it divine design. Either way, its presence brings recalibration, realignment, restoration, and when it sings near you, it may be a sign that your spirit is entering a season of healing, or maybe that it already has. Asterisk, if you've ever paused when hearing a cricket song, there's a reason. Keep listening, because what it means may change the way you see your home, your life, and your connection to the unseen. The world often teaches us to dismiss the quiet things, to ignore the subtle signs, to seek meaning only in the loud, the obvious, the grand. But the soul doesn't work that way. Spirit doesn't always shout. Sometimes it whispers. And sometimes it sings in the voice of a cricket just outside your door. There's something timeless about the sound of a cricket. It carries the stillness of night, the memory of forest, the breath of ancestors. And when you hear it, especially when it returns again and again near your home, near your presence, it may be more than coincidence. In traditional Chinese culture, crickets were believed to be harbingers of good luck and vitality. Their songs were cherished, not just for their beauty, but for what they signaled: harmony, balance, a connection between the spiritual and physical realms. In Japan, the cricket's voice is said to represent seasonal change and spiritual awareness. The moment you hear it, something awakens, a sense of being watched over, a sense of presence, a reminder that the world is alive with meaning, even in its smallest sounds. Have you ever noticed how a cricket sings just when everything else is still? There's no traffic, no noise, just quiet and the persistent rhythm of life. That is no accident. The spiritual world often communicates with us in these liminal spaces when the veil is thin and crickets. They are guardians of that threshold. When you hear one singing near you, ask yourself, what am I going through right now? What am I feeling that I haven't been able to express? What decision am I standing in front of? Because often the cricket song appears not just as comfort, but as confirmation that your spirit is aligned, that you are not lost, that even if you cannot see the path clearly, something beyond you can. Crickets are also deeply symbolic of trust. They hide in shadows, they sing without being seen. They trust that their presence is enough. And that is a sacred lesson for anyone walking through a time of uncertainty. You do not need to explain yourself to be worthy. You do not need to prove yourself to be protected. Sometimes the greatest affirmation is knowing that the universe is singing back to you through something as humble, as persistent, as sacred. As a cricket, some say that crickets appear more often when a spiritual awakening is near, that their presence, especially if it repeats or feels coincidental, is a sign that your soul is preparing for elevation. And in many homes, especially in East Asia, their song was seen as a sign that no evil could enter that the space was being spiritually watched. So if a cricket has been singing near you, ask yourself, what if this sound is a shield? What if this song is a prayer in motion? What if the chirping that fills the night is actually an answer to the very question your heart hasn't spoken aloud? Maybe it's not about understanding it logically. Maybe it's about feeling it. Because in spiritual terms, the cricket doesn't appear for everyone. It shows up when the atmosphere is right, when the heart is soft, when the soul is open. So the fact that you've heard it, that you're hearing it, says something. It says your energy is awakening. It says your home is blessed. It says the divine has not forgotten you. And more importantly, it says you haven't forgotten yourself. Asterisk if this sound keeps finding you. It's not by accident. Stay close. The next part may reveal why this song came now and what it's trying to prepare you for. There's a moment in every spiritual journey where silence becomes sacred, not empty, but full. Full of memory, full of meaning, full of messages that don't arrive through language, but through vibration. And the cricket, it has always been a master of that silence. It doesn't interrupt, it weaves itself into it. And in that gentle weaving, it leaves something behind. A feeling, a sense, a presence. In the East, it has long been believed that if you kill a cricket, you not only silence a blessing, you break a bond with the spirit world. That's how revered these tiny singers are, because their sound is more than a noise, it's a bridge between this world and the next, between your everyday reality and something sacred that watches over it. And maybe that's what you're being invited to remember, that even in the most ordinary moments, when you're brushing your teeth, lying in bed, walking through your kitchen, a divine presence may be reaching out, not in thunder, not in visions, but in the steady, faithful rhythm of a cricket's call. Think about the timing. Think about the synchronicity. Has this sound appeared more than once? Has it followed you from place to place? Has it shown up during moments of sadness, of doubt, of quiet reflection? In spiritual traditions, this is often called resonance. The belief that certain frequencies meet us where we are, offering not explanation but alignment. The cricket sings at night because that's when the world is finally still enough to hear it. And maybe that's exactly what your soul has needed, stillness, so that the message could find its way in. Some say the cricket is the gatekeeper of peace, that its song is the sound of harmony between realms, that where it sings, light remains, that where it lingers, no shadow can stay for long. And maybe, just maybe, this tiny creature came to your life because something sacred is unfolding beneath the surface. Maybe it's telling you that your home is a temple, that your energy is rising, that your questions have not gone unanswered, they've just been met with music instead of words. The cricket never over-explains. It never forces itself to be understood. And that's a divine reminder in itself. You too don't need to be loud to be heard. You don't need to be seen to be valuable. You don't need to be perfect to be protected. You simply need to be, and in that being, the universe will find ways to show you its listening. So the next time you hear a cricket pause, close your eyes, let it sing, let it echo through the chambers of your heart. Let it remind you that you're not alone, that something is walking with you, that the sacred still exists in the quietest corners of the night. And if the song fades, don't grieve. It came when it was needed. It left when its message was delivered. But the energy it carried, that remains in you, around you. Through you don't have to chase signs when you live with presence. Because the divine will always find ways to speak, especially to those who are finally ready to listen. And maybe tonight, it spoke through a cricket. Asterisk, if you've ever heard the song of a cricket and felt something, you're not imagining it. Share this with someone who's been seeking quiet signs. And tell us in the comments, when was the last time a cricket sang to you? Hit the bell, subscribe for more spiritual messages hidden in everyday moments, because the smallest voices often carry the biggest truths.